the sports bulletin this hour, and we'll start with this chat. So South Africa is officially 90 minutes away from being crowned champions of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations tournament tonight. Amajita face off with Morocco in that final at the Cairo International Stadium out in Egypt. It's been 28 long years since Amajita's last appearance in the final. It makes for the best performance by South Africa in the tournament since the Under-20 team coached by Shakes Mashaba lost 1-0 to the host nation back in 1997. So let's speak now to one of the members of that 1997 team, Matthew Booth, who of course also represented South Africa at the senior level and went on to also have a distinguished football career here in South Africa as well as beyond the borders of the country. Matthew, a very good morning to you and thank you so much for your time. 28 years is a very, very long time. You know, to put it into perspective, I was in preschool in 1997, so I don't have memories of the 1997 team. But talk to us about what this achievement means to have Amajita in a final of the Africa Cup of Nations tournament 28 years later.
Good morning, Rachel, and thanks for having me, and thanks for making me feel so old on a Sunday morning. Yeah, it's people that a photograph is doing the round on social media where I have this massive bush of hair on my head. So it was a very, very long time ago. But yeah, what a journey it was. Very fond memories. It shouldn't have taken this long really to get a youth team back in the final. This should be our regular place, our regular standing. But well done to Coach Mdaka and his team. This is a phenomenal team, very exciting to watch. A mixed team of overseas and local players. And congratulations to them. And I'm pretty sure that they'll go one better than us and actually win it. Ironically, it's against the very same opposition that we faced in 1997, Morocco. So, yeah, certainly looking forward to the game.
Yeah, looking forward to the game. That game will be live, obviously, later on tonight at 8 p.m. But what memories, Matthew, do you have of that final from 1997? You know, I spoke earlier about how Ephraim Shakes Mashaba was the coach of that team. What memories do you have of that final, and who are some of the members of that 1997 team?
Yeah, so the members, Wayne Roberts, Benny McCarthy, David Kanamere, Patrick Mbutu, Mutombo, Nkipiteni Mutombo, Daniel Matsao. So that formed the core of our under-23 team, which went on to qualify for the Olympics in 2000. So it was a long journey. It was a 6-year journey, which hasn't been replicated since. And I think credit must be given to Coach Ndaka for actually the lack of time that he's had to prepare. Whereas we had almost 6 years to get to the Olympics before our 1997 final in Morocco, against Morocco. We probably had 2 or 3 years to prepare, COSAFA Cups, traveling, lots of time together. And we saw a glimpse of success, whereas that hasn't been the case for him. He's had a very successful COSAFA Cup where they went unbeaten and beat a tough Zambian team in the final, which allowed them to qualify for AFCON. Yeah. And now they've gotten into the semis and finals, and that's allowed them to qualify for the World Cup, which has been fantastic. My memories of the final was a very ferocious atmosphere in Morocco. I think it was in Meknes, in front of the King of Morocco, very partisan crowd. So that's always very, very tough. They're going to be playing their final in Egypt against Morocco, so the atmosphere will probably be less so. But nevertheless, it's an intimidating place to go to. And a final is a final, It's cup football. So hopefully they've all woken up on the right side of the bed today, and yeah, they're going to put on a good show for us.
Yeah, I want to just pick up on what you just said a few seconds ago. It's going to be a difficult final. It's going to be hard for the boys, right? And a final is a different beast on its own. A title is on the line this time around, so they have to be at their best. Matthew, what do you think Raymond Mdaka will then be drilling in the minds of the players going into, this final, a match of consequence where a title is on the line, AFCON glory is on the line, continental glory is on the line, and the pressure that the team will be facing in this game of this magnitude?
Yeah, he set out his stall. Like every good team, it's set on your defensive foundation. At the back, they have a very capable goalkeeper in Fletcher Lowe, who's done superbly well during this tournament. Just a quick shout out to Fishhoek AFC, where he hails from. It's also my old amateur club. Both he and Jody Ashin have been developed through that club, a club established in 1930. So I think the amateur clubs around South Africa must also take credit for developing these players. And so that back four, and with him behind, just emanates a sense of confidence throughout the team. And then we have incredibly good attacking players, attacking flair up front, very creative, and not afraid to drop the shoulder and take on defenders. And I think that's what we've been missing over the last decade or so, is that typical South African flair and willingness to take on defenders. So if we can not compromise our principles that we've shown in the COSAFA Cup and in this AFCON, I think we certainly can take the title. I think it will be a very tight game, and perhaps just a goal in it.
A goal in it, it's going to be tight. I mean, they've won some tight games as well, the Amajita side, during the course of the tournament this season as well. I have a good feeling about it. Do you think the trophy's coming back home, Matthew?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they're going to go one better than we did in 1997. And we have the potential and talent, and I think also maturity that the likes of Mamelodi Sundowns or Orlando Pirates have shown on the continent. And that's very important. In certain periods of this game, there'll be heated moments, I'm sure, and we need calm heads and maturity, which you don't see often at that age, but I can see it in this team.
And the broader fix of things, you speak about, the league, you speak about, many of these players, playing for some of the top teams in South Africa in the Betway Premiership. What does this then say about the league in its own, Matthew, where you have players that have been playing in the DDC, the move now progressed into the PSL, and we see those players now part of this Amajita side? Surely that has to say something about our football.
Yeah, look, I mean, we mustn't get sidetracked. Yeah. There's a lot of work that we have to do to still develop and capacitate our talent, both in the men's and women's game. So we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. We still got a lot of hard work to do, but certainly the professional side of the game, our Betway Premiership, the DDC, and the fact that a lot of these kids actually have gone over as youngsters, retained their South African citizenship, and being developed in other parts of the world. We've also been able to, thanks to social media, keep track of these youngsters. And that's a very important element to this team. For example, Fletcher Lowe had to leave, didn't get picked up here in South Africa. He had to leave and made his way to Portugal as a young man, And so we've been able to pick up on that, and that's been encouraging. So there's different elements that have led to this team being unified by the coaching staff and being brought together as a winning unit. But certainly there are pockets of excellence, despite our lack of development around the country. I've said it many times before, we have to decentralize our football. All the talent seems to be coming to our metros. If we were to decentralize and create pockets of excellence around the country, all over the country, we would be able to capacitate our pool of talent and make our squads even stronger.
Matthew, appreciate your time this morning on the Weekend Report. Thank you so much for making time to chat to us. We'll be watching that game later on tonight.